Hello, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. You guys know the routine. Just going to set up really quick while we are waiting for some people to get here. How are you guys doing today? It is Tuesday, April 5th, and it is super early for me. Super early for me. It is 9:46, and I bumped this live up early because I'm supposed to have another live later with the Summer Wilds case. And I went to go make a coffee and I don't have any creamer. So anyone who drinks coffee knows my pain right now. What's up, everyone? We have Scott in the house. How are you doing, Scott? Hey, Sammy. Says, hey, beautiful, I have an appointment, but we'll catch you on the replay. It's always good. Good look at your appointment, Sammy. Who else? Hey, Rose. Howdy. Howdy. She says, remember to hot the thumbs up. Yeah, hot the thumbs up, everyone. Hit the thumbs up. And then we got Delana in the house. I'm not sure what other mods will be here, to be honest, Delana, because I think three of them are probably either still sleeping or working. So it's okay. I'm not normally going live usually at this time. So I think we can handle it in chat today. Hey, Covert Crime. Hey, she says, hey all. How you doing today? Hi, Vicky Lane. She says, hi, everyone. Karen in the house. How you doing, Karen? Hey, Carrie. How are you today? Is this a trick? What kind of trick? Tell me more. Tell me more. Hey, Granny. How are you today? Oh, look who we have in the house. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? You were up. Oh my goodness. She says, I'm up way to 2:47 a.m. Wait, is it 2:47 a.m. right now, or you've been up since 2:47 a.m.? Because if you've been up since 2:47 a.m., girl, you cray. You sound like me and my routines. Carrie says, I get so upset when my daughter drinks the last of the cream. No. Do you guys get upset? Like, do your loved ones do this? I hope you don't do it. When you go to, let's say, well, I was completely out of creamer, but let's say there's been plenty of times where I go to grab the creamer and there's like nothing even left in there. I'm like, really? Can you just have thrown it away? You get my hopes up. I make coffee and then there's literally a drop of creamer left. Oh my goodness. Horrible, horrible. So horrible. Oh my God, do we have Sky in the house? I think I seen someone say Sky. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Gotta tell. Maybe my boyfriend needs me to do something for him, but I'm like, I'm live right now. I'll do it after. Hold on, guys. He's probably like, you're live this early. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Mercy, how are you doing? She says hello. I just came off of a live, Karen says. Hi, Lisa. Lisa with the apples. Lisa with the apples is in the house. Oh, Australia. Okay. Now it makes sense. Delana says that she will fight someone if I was out of creamer in the AM. See, but I knew I was out of creamer today. I already knew because yesterday, I was like, oh, I need to get creamer when I was at the store. And I go to the store and I completely forget the creamer. Of course I do. But I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm not going to drink coffee in the morning because I wasn't planning on going live this early. I was having it scheduled for later for the Summer Wells case. But then I seen this last night and then I'm like switching everything around at the last minute. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab coffee. And I was like, shit, I forgot to buy creamer. No, I get mad when I go get the creamer and there's a drop left. Like, but Marcy says, how are you doing, sister? I'm doing good today. I'm in a good mood today. Good mood today. Hey, Criminality, how are you? Good to have you in chat. If someone can drop her link so everyone knows, this is Teresa. Teresa S. It's good to have you here. Marcy says, I had to go get creamer because I was out. Yeah, I need to start buying in bulk the creamer because, yeah, my boyfriend drinks it before he goes to work. So, yeah, we need one for each. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that so much. Hey, New Orleans lady, how are you? She says, hello, everyone, with a cute heart and a little. I love that emoji. It's one of the cutest emojis ever. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Okay, so just sending some texts out. Okay, so as you guys can see on the screen, and if anyone comes into chat right after, one big hello to you guys. Anyone who watches this on the replay, thank you guys. Hit the like button before we even get started. You guys already know the routine. Hook a girl up. I appreciate it. But we're going to be going over some court documents with Cassie and Marcus. I seen this yesterday in one of the, I don't know if it was in the group I'm in or it was the page that the family runs, but this was shared. And I'm going to go more into that in a little bit. But first, let's watch this, what you guys see on your screen. And this is going to go over who owns the property. Remember, we were trying to figure out who owns the property that Cassie's body was found on. Remember, we did a little sleuthing yesterday while I was live. And then yesterday when I was live, we looked at Marcus' name. He actually had a house that was linked to his name that was only 5 minutes from where the property was that she was found, but we got more information. So I'm going to just play this real quick and just be quiet. Hey, Barbara. Everyone say hi to Barb. All right. And hopefully, okay, good.
For the family of Cassie Carli, a week of haunting unknowns has come to a devastating conclusion.
She loved her community, and her community loved her back. I'm humbled though, and forever grateful for everyone. We helped bring her home.
Really, an ad?
Carli was last seen meeting her boyfriend Marcus Spinavello at this beachside restaurant. They were swapping custody of their 4-year-old daughter. 6 days later, Carli's body was found buried in this Springville barn, 289 miles away. Diane Fisher lives just up the road.
I'm sorry that it happened. It can happen in any community, and I'm not afraid. God's got this.
So what is Spinavello's connection to the property where Carli's body was found? We tracked down the property's owner. He tells us that Spinavello was helping him renovate this home, which is only about 150 yards away from the barn where Carli's body was buried. Spinavello was arrested southwest of Nashville over the weekend. He faces charges of destroying Carli's phone and lying to investigators at this point. But the sheriff's office says those charges could be upgraded.
We hate it that Cassie has passed away, but it's good to get closure for the family, and it's good to keep this dirtbag in jail where he belongs.
Carli's daughter was found safe. Her family looks forward to reuniting with her and honoring her mom's life.
Our main focus is just going to give her a beautiful celebration and get Sailor back home with us.
Today's autopsy should shed light on Carli's exact cause of death. In Springville,
And we did learn that they're going to actually wait till they get the toxology findings and all that before they give us anything with the results from the autopsy. So I wanted to play this because we now know that he was doing some work at that property, and that's how he's linked to it. But again, he knows that area because he did have a house that was linked to his name that was only 5 minutes from there. So he was doing property, and he knew nobody would be there. So that's where he put her. Hey, Deanna, how are you? Hi, Carli. All right, you guys, let's get into, hey, Rita. She says, hey, all, hope you're all doing good. Let's get into why I have you guys here today. Now, I'm going to move let's do this one. No, let's do like this. So I'll be behind here. You guys can still hear me, right? If I'm like this, I think you guys can. Just think of me like the Wizard of Oz behind the screen. So I saw this yesterday. It was shared and I read all of it. And it is basically about the court battle, that a breakdown of the court battle that Cassie went through with Marcus. There's court documents shown, there's text messages that were shown that were, when you go through a custody battle and you file certain things, you provide proof of things. There's text messages, there's photos, there's a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys and show some of the text messages. There's a lot of reading for me. So usually when I do anything like going through court documents, I'll usually, when I need to take a breather, I'll mute myself, drink some water, and clear my throat or something like that. So if you hear me go quiet for a minute, it's just me, trying to, drink some water and clear my throat and all that stuff. I don't usually go over every single word, but I'm going to have it on the screen for you guys. You guys can see it. Is it blurry on your end, or is it focused yet? Because on my end, it's looking kind of blurry still. Well, I see the Wi-Fi connection is good on my end, but I'm just wondering, is it focused? Maybe if I zoom in a little bit. What do you guys think? Let me see what you guys say. Good on my end, so you guys can see it clear. Okay, yeah, it's clear. Okay, I'm looking at it on YouTube now. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is from, sorry, I was seeing someone's comment. Hey, sweet Sherry, good to see you. So while I'm reading this, you guys, I'm going to try to refrain from looking at chat, because you guys know I get easily distracted when I look at chat. As you guys can tell already, I'm already getting distracted with it. So if you need to get my attention, I will keep chat open. Just do the @ symbol and then put my name right there, and that highlights and I'll see it. Or of course, any donations always get my attention because they are brightened up. Okay, Rita. So again, this is Florida Protective Parents Association. It's a website. You guys can go check it out if you like. But basically, what they are about is Florida Protective Parents Association was formed after the 2021 murder of Grayson Kessler by his own father in Fort Lauderdale. Parents come together in show of support for Allie Kessler, Grayson's mother. The impact that his death had sent shockwaves throughout the South Florida community. But for many of the parents who try to protect their children in the family court system, his death was their own fears realized. Now it goes on to say that we are a community of advocates who try to protect children through research, education, and court reform. It says, we believe in a future where children's rights and safety are the priority in all family and dependency court cases. Through committees and our team, we hope to bring light to this darkness that many families are suffering through. So that's what this association is about. Again, you can go check them out on the webpage, Parents Protective Parents, Florida Protective Parents. Now, when you type in Cassie's name, hey Kez, welcome to the family. Everyone give her a big welcome. I just seen it pop up. Welcome to the crazy family. Do you know what you're getting yourself into? So when you type Cassie's name in there, there's a whole article. And it goes, and what it is, let me scroll up a little bit. It's an in-depth analysis of Cassie Carli's court battle for her daughter's safety. So that's what I'm going to be reading to you today. This was written on April 3rd, well, published on April 3rd. Now, it goes into depth the court battles. It has court documents, like I said. It has text messages and photos, and we're going to go through all of that today. So I'm going to start reading it, and for the most part, I'm not going to be looking at chat once again because, like I said, I do get easily distracted. Now, I just want to say before I do start reading, anyone who's gone through a custody battle, that was horrible. I know I have mine. I don't even want to talk about it, but if you've ever been through a custody battle, you're gonna, when I'm reading this to you, you're gonna feel like probably deja vu. I know I did. When I was reading this, I was like, oh my God, that was me. Oh my gosh, that was him. Oh my gosh, I felt that way. Yes, that's what he was doing. It was like deja vu all over. It was like this was almost my own custody battle struggle right here of certain things. Not all of it, because some things I didn't go through, but some of it I was just like blown away by it. So, and when I was done reading it, and this is just my opinion, I believe that this possibly might be the motive why Marcus actually did what he did. And I think it was about money. He was about to have to pay a certain amount of money, and that was coming up pretty soon. And not only that, I think him not having all the control when it came to his daughter also played a role in it. But I definitely think money was a motive. And I personally think he just had so much resentment and anger towards Cassie. She was doing great. And he, in his mind, I just wonder, did he think that she was moving on and doing good, and if that ate him up? But I personally, after reading this, I do think money was motive here. But that's just my opinion. All right, let me just see chat really quick. And okay, we look good. Okay, let's get started. So let me get a little comfortable. Now, again, for people wondering what this is, mods, when they do come in here and I'm already reading, not looking at chat, just let them know that this is a association, Florida Protective Parents, and they can go to the webpage and check it out themselves. But I'm going to be reading this. And again, it's a depth analysis of Cassie Carli's court battle for her daughter's safety. And it's going to upset some of you, that for sure. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let me get down a little bit. Okay. Cassie Carli is beautiful. What you can see on her Facebook has pictures of her daughter, the beach, and smiles all around. A happy and positive person is what her family describes her as. Someone that went through the ringer but was so strong. Cassie went missing on Sunday, March 27, 2022. She was on her way to pick up her 4-year-old daughter, Saylor, and never made it home. She went to meet her daughter's father, Marcus Banovello, in the parking lot of Juana's restaurants in Navarre. Their usual exchange place, dictated by the court, is at the Walmart in Destin, about an hour away. Sources close to her tell us that in the past few weeks, Marcus had been playing the good guy and suggesting a closer to Cassie's residence exchange locations. Now, Juana's is said to be a mile away from her residence. This would have been a more convenient option for Cassie, and having visited Juana's myself, I can attest that it is a very busy public place with plenty of people around. Her father texted her a couple of hours later and received a strange message from Cassie's phone, stating that she was having car trouble and would be staying with Marcus for the night. As neither Cassie nor Saylor were heard from for the rest of the night or next day, her sister Rianne Carli sent Marcus pleading with him to let her know where Cassie is. He first claimed to have dropped her off at a friend's house and keeping Saylor with him, and then changes his story to say he dropped Cassie off in the middle of nowhere in Destin. Now it goes on to say that Destin is a small island that is heavily populated with stores and hotels. There is always a landmark around to distinguish where you are. Now, Cassie's disappearance resonated in the DV community upon hearing that she had a previous injunction against Marcus and had been in continuous custody battle. Once we saw her docket here at Florida Protective Parents, we knew how dangerous Marcus was. We knew that the intricacies of the court docket would be largely overlooked, so we're coming forward with our analysts to help better educate the public, on the signs that might not be so obvious. Cassie's case is like many others that we see here at Florida Protective Parents Association. It only takes one person to create a high conflict custody case. These are dangerous individuals that should not have unsupervised access to children. All right, so now we're going to get into a high conflict custody, what that is actually. And unfortunately, I know what that is, and some of you may know what that is already. It says that a high conflict custody battle is largely defined by attorneys as cases where parents make co-parenting impossible, where there are filings in the court alleging abuse, and where the parents cannot come to an amicable agreement to the custody/time sharing for their children. It is like becoming a high-risk patient. And just as a general medicine doctor might be unable to treat you, many family attorneys cannot begin to be able to help many protective parents in high conflict cases. Now, it goes on to say that we define protective or the healthy parent as the parent who just wants peace and refrains from adding chaos to the children involved. Now, as far as Cassie, she was the protective parent. Unable to get just any family law attorney to help you in your case causes the protective parent to try and seek out specialists. The issue with that is that requires money. Even a normal family law attorney can be very expensive. Oh, yes, they can. And there is no directory with the kick-ass attorney who are fighting for safety of children and are unafraid of abusers. Now we're going to get into the timeline of Cassie's court battle. And my God, you guys, it is long. And I have personally, I'm not going to say too much, but I went through years and years and years of court custody battles. It was like, my God, it's very exhausting, and you just you're just at a point where you just want it to go away. You just like, please help, let's just find anything, let's find a reason in the middle, something in the middle. It's so exhausting. And when I read this, I felt so horrible for her, because you guys are going to see it is long. Timeline of Cassie's custody battle. Now, on Halloween Day of 2018, Cassie filed for a DV injunction. The contents of that injunction have been redacted from the public view. It is unknown what the contents were, but it was determined significant to grant her temporary injunction until a hearing date of November 9, 2018. Many DV injunctions are denied because insignificant cause of intimate danger of fear for one's life. If Cassie was able to get one granted temporarily, there was significant cause for it. Now, at this time, Sailor was 3 months old. Now, I just want to say really quick, when you click on anything that is blue on the screen when you're here, it's going to load, and it's going to take you exactly to the actual court document. Okay, So you can see Cassie. Okay, so it's going to take you to the, excuse me, to the actual court document. I'm not going to go over all those documents. Only I wanted to go over, I'm going to be clicking on like photos and the text message ones. But if you want to go and see exactly the court document, you can just click any of those blue links. And I'm just not doing that just, because of time. We'd be here all day. Okay. Now, a week later, it was dismissed upon so that temporary injunction that she was granted. A week later, it was dismissed upon the fact that there wasn't significant evidence for continuance of the injunction. So it says that when you go to a hearing on an injunction, you must provide evidence to show that you have continued fear for your life from this person. It is important to note that Cassie's daughter, Sailor, was included in that temporary protective order. Now, check this out. On March 8th of 2019, Marcus now filed a DV injunction against Cassie's mom. Now, it does say that unknown what is accurate in his filings, they state that we cannot comment about the truth behind any of his statements, but that Marcus mentioned that Cassie's mother screamed saying that I had a gun. So I'm going to just click this and we're going to actually look at what Marcus wrote. Oh, thank you so much, Sweet Sherry, for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much, love. How you guys doing in chat? Okay. And please don't think I'm ignoring anybody. So this is the actual document. So let me scroll down because I just want to read to you guys. Let's see what he actually wrote. And I do want to say really quick that this was dismissed that same day. Okay, so there was no real findings against it, so they dismissed it. So respondent. Okay, so it says, can you guys see that? It says, called me a psycho meth head. And please, it's kind of hard to read the writing. So called me a psycho meth head, screamed saying I had a gun when I didn't, tried to assault me, but her daughter got in the middle and detained her in the balcony. He said, Tony is, I should have read this before so I would have known what it says. I can't read some of his writing. Maybe you guys can, but she was going to get him to harm Tony is her son. She told her other daughter needed to understand my daddy gave me hands, implying she was assaulting me. Maybe that's why they didn't include all of this, because one, it is really hard to understand what he is writing. Initially lied while filing a restraining order against me so I wouldn't be able to call the cops when she was doing drugs near my 3-month-old daughter. She showed up in court, signed in, but before her time to see the judge was up, she fled. She is a convicted felon that was never reformed and just got education with the system. She always on drugs and is always drinking. She is always around drug addicts. And I honestly believe that she put my daughter in a physical dangerous environment, and her present is mentally harmful to and I think it's a 7-month-old daughter, since 2 out of her 3 kids became follows just like her. And these are allegations Marcus put against Cassie. Sorry, guys, it's really hard to read his writing. It's really hard. I'd like to make clear that even though I spent most nights with my daughter and her mother at, and it gives an address, I do not like it there. I've had access to my daughter as much as I would like, though my daughter lives with her mother and we have yet to come up with a co-parenting plan. It says also that my daughter's mother does not agree with me on this issue. And I think, so that's the grandmother's name. So the grandmother claiming that Anthony and Rear. Yeah, so it's just like a lot of allegations. Okay, a lot of allegations. Let me see what they wrote on here. Let me see. Let's see what they wrote. Let's see. Well, let's go back. So that's what it showed on there, which was so hard to read his writing. Let's see. Again, March 8th, 2019, Marcus filed DV, an injunction against Cassie's mother. Now I understand why they're saying that, they cannot, it is unknown what is accurate in his filing. He did mention that Cassie's mother screamed saying that I had a gun. It is very common for abusers to try and isolate their victims from their family and friends. Now it says in Marcus' filing, he states that at this time he was staying some nights with Cassie at her home. He felt the need to let the court know that. Also says that I've had access to my daughter as much as I would like, even though my daughter lives with her mother. And we have yet to come up with a parenting plan. Those are things that we just seen that Marcus wrote. Now, narcissistic personalities tend to feel the compulsion to prove to everyone that they are a model citizen and are great fathers and mothers. Adding this sentence into a domestic violence injunction has no merit in proving you are in fear of your life. This attempt for an injunction was swiftly denied that same day. So this injunction that Marcus filed was denied that same day. Okay, so 2 months later, on May 7th, 2019, 4 days before Cassie's 34th birthday, Marcus called DCF to report Cassie for child abuse. Sailor at this time was about 9 months old. How old was she when they first started going through this? Do you guys remember? I already forgot. Gosh, she's been going through this since Sailor was born. Now it says this report was later submitted as evidence in their final trial to show Marcus false allegations against Cassie. Let's see. So some of these allegations that were put were the mother, so Cassie, has a medical marijuana card. In addition to using marijuana, he also claims that she drinks excessively. He claims that Sailor has significant bruises on her forehead. Also said that he did not believe Cassie when she said that Sailor got the bruise while crawling. Also that, let's see, his DCF call comes at a very opportune time as he then files for full custody of Sailor on May 24, 2019, only 2.5 weeks after the incident. So he does this allegations against Cassie, saying all of these things about her. She's unfit. And then 2 weeks later, he then files for full custody. So he's just pretty much trying to leave a bread trail, kind of, been there, done that, I know. 3 months. Thank you, Vicky. So she was 3 months when all of this started. Oh my gosh. Now, a smear campaign is often used as a tactic of abusers right before they file for custody or divorce. They want to set up a history of the other parent's character. Many of these people will research the different methods to hurt the other parent. That is horrible, but it is so true. Now it says May 24th filing is a petition for paternity determination and other relief. So now Marcus' filing states he shared parental responsibilities and would be detrimental to the minor's child in this case. That the mother, again, she has substance abuse problems as she abuses prescription drugs, illegal drugs, and consumes alcohol to excess daily. In addition, it says that, the mother, again, Cassie, has psychological problems that affect her ability to properly care for the minor child on a daily basis. Let's see, the mother has made false allegations of DV against the father, he claims, and the mother routinely prevents him from seeing the minor child for no reason. I feel like when you go through something like either like it was stating divorce or custody, not all cases, but why do they always try to make it seem like, oh, that other parent is crazy, they have mental problems, you know what I mean? I guess it's the easiest thing to say. Now, let me have a drink of water, guys. Give me a second. Oh my gosh, I was reading and I was muted. But I said while I was muted, I love your comment, trio, girl mom. She says, been there and done that too, and it is horrible. So much love to any mother that felt this pain, and also to any father, because it could be the other way around too. So any parent who has felt this pain, I know, like I said earlier, it's like deja vu reading this. Let's continue. Now he, again, Marcus, he then goes to plead with the court to award him sole parental responsibility and majority of the time sharing. He further asked the court to create a safety-focused time-sharing plan with supervised visits imposed on the mother, so on Cassie. Again, he states almost verbatim what he said to DCF weeks prior. And again, that's going to be about all of the abuse and her, just all of that abuse and drug abuse. It says now this is the person that wrote this says, I would like to make something very clear here. It is extremely difficult as a victim of DV to find an attorney to file for full custody, and many will advise you to find a way to settle out of court. And I would love to hear from anybody who's been in a DV relationship and you try to go through the courts and get custody. Were you told that to try to settle? I know I was told. When I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, I was told that to try to settle, to find a way. And they make you feel kind of, I know I felt like it was my fault and I should just settle for whatever, which is horrible. Now it says to settle out of court, but many attorneys do not mind making allegations of substance abuse issues or psychological issues without asking their client to provide evidence to that fact. Now, whether he was a master manipulator of his attorney or the attorney simply trusted him because of a large caseload or whatever reason, it is not uncommon to see defamation of character all over the dockets across the United States. Now, perjury and falsely accusing someone's character is not treated as a big deal in family courts. Now, when you get these motions/filings as a protective parent, you are in disbelief that someone can write atrocities about you in public records and that there is little you can do about it. You are then focused to have the burden of proof to prove that you are not all of these things. It is so common that many attorneys will tell you not to worry about it, but as we know with first impressions, filings like this set the stage. It becomes very costly to undo the image portrayed of you, and it muddies the waters. It will always lay a seed of doubt in everyone's mind as to who the abuser is. It can lead to victim blaming and debate on an otherwise black and white matter. Now it says Sailor is 10 months old at this time. It is believed, based on the court documents, that at this time there was a Department of Revenue filing asking for child support from Marcus. Now it says that on May 29, 2019, Cassie was served with the court documents. Now, like many know, the clock begins to tick once you receive those papers. You have 20 days to respond normally in the state of Florida on paternity or divorce petition. I remember thinking about my own case. How in the world was I going to be able to find an attorney, condense the years and months of nightmare that I went through, and file an appropriate response in 20 days? And those 20 days go by so fast. As a parent, a million thoughts go through your head, and when you are not versed in the court system, can they take my child from me? Will people believe he's crazy? Will my child be kept safe? Man, I can totally relate to all of that. Now, it says that the standard procedure for these cases allow a 40-day period in which mandatory disclosures, financial documents to be produced. Now, due to the belief that Marcus had a pending case with the DOR for child support, this is their belief, it was a mission to get Cassie's financial information quickly. A notice of production of documents was sent to Cassie's job and a second one to Cassie. We can see very quickly these are not the filings of a desperate father trying to get his child's safety out of harm of a mother who has, psychological problems that properly care for the minor child on a daily basis. These immediate filings can be seen as a race to avoid paying child support, it seems. And I honestly thought the same thing too. Paying child support to many of us is known as a way to provide for your child. To many narcissists, it is a loss of control and power that they wield over the other parent. To not be able to withhold financial support for the child whenever they like without recourse, to them is an ultimate betrayal of their own selfish tenets. For many abusers, money is an ultimate motivator. It might be the sole reason they ask for full custody of a child they do not want. To simply have their victim pay them a monthly support to the child. Oh my gosh, yes. Many of them do not understand that healthy parents are happy to support their children. Hey Juicy, I see you popping in. How are you? Now, on June 18th, 2019, Cassie retained an attorney and then filed a counter petition. Now, in the counter petition, it asserts that Marcus is the father. This piece is important. Many attorneys might ask you if you are completely sure that the other party is the father. If there is any doubt in the court's mind, it can prolong a case and be cause for a DNA test. There is a burden of proof to overcome that is very much on the father to do so. The fact that Cassie openly admits that Marcus is the father and the rest of her mild counter petition goes to the fact that Cassie wanted peace. Her counter petition is a far cry from his aggressive petition, not citing his previously abuse, so she never mentions his abuse. You may ask, why would you not disclose abuse during a custody battle? Many attorneys refuse to disclose abuse in their filings during a custody case because it makes the case much, much more difficult. Now, many parents who do disclose substantiated abuse of their own party are told that if it didn't happen to the child, it doesn't matter. The Florida statute on the best interest of the child that the judge needs to take into account does not outline abuse of either parent. It only outlines the abuse of the child or abuse that the child witnessed. Even if there is abuse to the child, it would have to be extreme neglect or physical and be well documented over and over. We know that if that were the case, you could very well be asked, why didn't you protect your child? So many parents who have spent so much time protecting their children from the other parents abused are left with their hands tied. Okay, so this just goes more into like abuse. Now, it does say that right here, we're going here now. The petition does state that the parties be awarded shared parental responsibility, with the respondent/mother having ultimate decision-making authority concerning the minor child's education, healthcare, and her activities from day-to-day needs. Now it says it is the best interest that the court establish a timeshare schedule awarding the respondent/mother the majority of the timeshare with the minor child. So meaning that Cassie would have Sailor majority of the time. And it even gave her the ultimate, it was in the petition to give her the making all the decisions when it came to education, healthcare, and all of those day-to-day needs. So she would have all of that right. Now so Cassie at this time also files her financial affidavit and an objection to production from a non-party. Now, Cassie's financial affidavit is completed with expenses detailing every credit card, her household expenses, and her income. There is nothing strange or unusual in her financial affidavit. This is what normal people do. They file on time and they tell the truth and do not ask for things from the court. Now, on June 19th, 2019, Cassie's attorney filed for a request for production of documents. Marcus, not to be beat, his attorney filed an amended request for production of documents 2 hours later. In many high conflict cases, you will see one side constantly filing or trying to one-up the other side. Yes. That very day, the truth comes out as Marcus files an objection to a hearing. Now, that was taking place on a different docket of child support, and it was by the Department of Revenue. This would delay Marcus from being held responsible for the child support and change the venue to the docket he was suing her on as the petitioner, if granted. Now it says this would delay any financial support for their shared daughter. This is a bid for control of the arena. The courtroom is now his platform and made chaos to throw at Cassie. We do not see any documents filed granting his request. We're moving on to June 27, 2019. Now, Marcus' attorney filed an answer to counter petition. And again, you guys can click on here and see the actual court documents if you want, but I'm just reading this because it actually just explains what's on there. And for time's sake, it's easier to do it this way. But if you want to, you can go on here and just click it. And it'll take you to exactly the court doc. It would take you to this counter petition. So now it says again, on June 27th, 2019, a Marcus attorney filed an answer to counter petition. This is standard procedure to a petition. There is a counter petition, and then they have to answer that counter petition. The answer is very short, simple, admitting or denying paragraphs of the counter petition. What does stand out to me is this excerpt from it. Now, the remainder of The remainder of the mother's counter petition is a prayer for relief and does not require an answer. Now, that is exactly what every motion or filing submitted on behalf of a protective parent is, a prayer of relief. And if you have been into this, if you've been in this situation, you understand this part. Now, what he is not wrong about is that in the court system, it does not require an answer. Court cases can go for many months to years, and you are just waiting for someone to look at all your evidence and answer your prayers for relief. There's always that one parent that just wants it to just stop, and you want to find a resolution to it. You don't want to argue with the other parent. You just want to co-parent. And then you have the other parent who is just not willing to meet you halfway. Let me see what they show on here real quick. Hold on. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in today. I really do appreciate you guys. Let me just see. Okay, so it's just that. I thought maybe they might have showed something. All right. Okay, let me go down. Okay, so now it says 2 days before the hearing of child support in a separate docket on July 8th, 2019, the father filed his financial affidavit. His mortgage or rent, he claimed it to be $250. Wow, that's super cheap. He pays $257.91 for a phone bill. His phone bill is more than his mortgage. He claims to spend $292.98 on the child's medical, dental, prescription monthly. Now, I do want to point out that the child was on Medicaid according to both parties' filings. So it leaves you to wonder, what was he paying out of pocket monthly for? Now, below are some of the assets and liabilities listed. Now, as far as assets, he lists his Silverado that he valued at $50,000, 2018 Tailwind trailer that he valued at $7,000, some liabilities, loans for both trucks and trailer, which he equaled to $70,000, $292, credit cards, $10,145, and then 2 personal loans to someone named Edward. That was $1,800, and a Dustin that was $1,300. That's a lot to loan a friend, I think. I don't know. I mean, if you have it, but that's a lot. Now, he had interest and was the CEO of 3D Visual Solutions, LLC, which was never listed. So he never listed that on his financial affidavit. So he kept that quiet. Now, according to Sunbiz report, this company was filed with the state of Florida on March of 2017. So he should have included that information in the financial part, but he didn't. Now, hiding assets and financials is a tool in financial abuse of the court system and of the other parent. It is fraud on the court. Now, while normal people just tell the truth, abusers will go to any length to appear unfortunate in the eyes of the court. Now, whether that being filing loss of multiple $1 million company or working only cash jobs to hide income, financial abuse spans all tax brackets. If you can't afford to pay for daycare for the child, you can't get a job. It has quickly become a vicious cycle of poverty for the parent who was staying home with the young child initially and holding primary custody. Let me see this real quick. Let me see what this shows us. Hey, Ken. I see Ken right there. And Ambi. Hi, Ambi. I think Ambi's been here for a minute. I'm barely saying hi. Okay, so again, If you want to look at the court documents for what he actually included, we already went over it, but so he's saying his total children expenses would have been for daycare. He's saying that's like about $500 right there. Again, insurance for the child, he's claiming again. And like they said, she was on Medicaid. So what are you even paying any children insurance for her? So lies. Okay. Okay, so this just goes on. This part right here just says attempting to prove the other parent is hiding their finances can require hiring a forensic accountant, a PI, and it's just a lot of work, honestly. And most parents just don't. The other parent usually just don't have time to do that or the money to do that. Now, on July 10th, 2019, on the docket with the Department of Revenue involved, Marcus was ordered to pay $843.49 in child support per month, which with a retroactive amount of $168.70 per month until the retroactive obligation of $5,522.42 is paid. Now, this amount for the month came out to $1,012.19. This was a huge loss for Marcus. Now, on July 22nd, 2019, Cassie submitted all documents related to Marcus' request for production. More than a month later, on September 4th, 2019, Cassie's attorney filed a motion to compel on Marcus to request for production. He was still attempting to hide bank statements and loan documents. Their trial was approximately in 3 weeks, so he was still trying to hide information. Now, on September 20th, 2019, at 9 a.m., a hearing was held on the father's request for temporary relief. At this hearing, the exhibits filed, and it goes all into the exhibits that were filed. Now, surprise, surprise, the first piece of evidence that Marcus' counsel submitted was the court documents and order of child support, 18 pages. The second piece exhibit submitted was titled Family Law Case History, which seems to be a printout from a payment system with the court for child support. It shows 2 payments made a week before this hearing. So before this hearing, he made 2 payments. On September 19, 2019, totaling $2,024.38. At this time, his previous balance was $5,185.02. This might have been an attempt to show Marcus with the court. So I do think that it's so telling that his first thing that he is submitting was the court documents and the orders of child support, right? And him making these payments just 2 weeks before the hearing. I don't know, I just thought that was very telling. I feel like as a parent, we all know what he was doing. As anybody, you would know what he was doing. Now, the photos he submitted to the court is a selfie of Cassie and him at the hospital with their newborn, and one of him feeding Sailor a bottle. Pictures like these are normally used by the abuser to pull the heartstrings of the court. Look at me be a great parent. I was there for the birth. Please pat me on my back. Again, Cassie did not accuse Marcus in any of the filings of being an absent father or of any abuse. So let's see the photo that was posted. And remember, like it said, Cassie never once made, so this is the one he incorporated, never talked about any of the abuse. So far, it seems like Cassie really just tried to be the responsible parent and just wanted to co-parent with him. You can tell by all the filings. So this is Cassie, Marcus, and then that's the baby Sailor. Now, it says one of the things we will see in this case is Marcus submitting documents to the court that incriminated him. Signed order is the dismissal of the injunction Cassie had in 2018. This was used to attack Cassie and claim she made false allegations against him. It can be reduced from the many court hearings that I have watched that this one piece of paper is probably also to aid his assertion of Cassie's mental issues. Using mental illness as an excuse as to why a victim is alleging abuse is used in and out of the courts. Gaslighting is prominent in many coerced abuse relationships. Gaslighting is described as manipulating someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. Have any of you ever been in that situation, in that type of relationship? Comment, let me know. Making you feel crazy and lying about events that happened is a play made deliberately to discredit you. In the court system, narcissists can try to rewrite events to better fit their image. Now it says these exhibits help paint the picture, like the photo he put of him holding Sailor and saying that he was there when she was born. These exhibits help paint the picture that Marcus was extremely focused on his personal image. There are no exhibits provided to prove clear and substantial evidence to his claims of Cassie being abusive, mentally unwell, and a drug addict. So he did not submit anything, any photos of that, any, doctor visits, rehab visits, nothing. He did not provide anything to support the claim that he was making throughout this whole time that Cassie was abusive to Sailor, she was mentally unwell, and that she was a drug addict. And also remember, he said she drank all the time too. Now it does say Cassie's exhibits, on the other hand, aim to put a solid conclusion to the ordeal. The photos she shared were both of her and Marcus' respective homes. As you'll see in these photos, and we'll look at them right now, Marcus' home is devoid of any personal effects of Sailor. There was no crib or sleeping area for Sailor, or even a playpen for Sailor at that age. This man is asking for full custody of a child that he does not have a place for her to sleep or play in. Now, Cassie's home, on the other hand, is filled with Sailor's life. Her toys, her crib, a baby play pool on the porch for her to swim and play in. She by no means lives in a luxury home, outfitted with all the latest and greatest gadgets and toys. But if Marcus claimed to make similar income to Cassie, why wasn't he providing a safe and loving environment for the child? Let's see these photos, shall we? Scott, you got it? I need some water. Let's see. Let me drink some water. Let me mute. All right, and this is something that people that have gone through this, you might be familiar with. Usually you take photos of where your child sleeps and your living area, your home, and you usually submit that to the courts. So this says respondent, okay. So this is like the bathroom, it looks like. You can see a little high chair right here. It looks like these are probably some toys. These look like toys right here in the corner. Yeah. So yeah, those are like those little shelves with all the toys and stuff. Hey, I recognize this toy right here. I'm assuming it's kind of hard to tell, but this is probably the little pool, little baby pool right here. And then, of course, in the bathtub, the little toys that they play with. The fridge, it looks like this is the inside of the refrigerator. Okay. So basically, like I said, just showing that her home is a home that you can tell that a little girl lives in there. Okay, where do we leave up on? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. My alarm is going off in the background and I can hear it. Let me turn it off. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now, let's see. Cassie's subsequent exhibits shared parenting plan and addendum to shared parenting plan show that Cassie asked for a majority of time sharing. Now, the final decision making and the use of Talking Parents app to communicate. Oh my gosh, how many of you have used Talking Parents app? Any of you guys in my chat? Put a 1 if you know the app. Do you know this app? Oh my goodness, sorry. Deja vu. Many parents who are fearful to the other parent and their verbal abuse ask the court to install a court order communication app. These apps, like Talking Parents or Our Family Wizard, allow court professionals in real time to have access to communications between the parents. Now, they allow parents to have different threads of messages on different subjects. Now, it's to promote a healthy communication with accountability, basically what it is. All the messages used in these apps are able to be submitted to the court and downloaded whenever. Trio says, oh yeah, women can be horrible also. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, it's just like deja vu. I keep saying that. It's like deja vu for me right here. And I'm sure a lot of you, it's probably like deja vu for some of you too. The addendum of asked for Marcus time sharing to commence upon the father's having you guys are funny. Sorry. See, I get distracted. I'm not looking at chat. Where did I look? Let's see. Upon the father having adequate housing and living conditions for the child, this was never adopted by the court. It was also asked that their exchange be at the Walmart in Destin. So that's where it was set to be at. This was not adopted by the court at this time, but was later adopted. The court reserves a lot of power in these cases, and many times they seem to tiptoe around the best interest of the children to cater to the parents' rights. That term is interesting because we do see cases where the parental rights are completely professionals are ignored without regard to the Florida Parental Bill of Rights. So also submitted, it says, was the confidential investigative summary. Now, this was from the DCF, in which shows the false allegations that Marcus fabricated against Cassie, and we went through that earlier. Now it says somewhere between that September 20th hearing and October 2nd of 2019, Marcus counsel submitted a proposal parenting plan to the judge. This was adopted into a temporary shared parenting order on October 2nd, 2019. This order awarded shared parental responsibility, designated that communication between parents be by email and text messages, and a specific weekend schedule that Marcus would have time sharing with Sailor every other weekend, and for Wednesdays after school until 8 p.m. It is unclear at this time if Marcus ever exercised his Wednesdays time sharing. And, it was interesting to see that he got her every other weekend and Wednesdays. Is that usually what the courts recommend for the other parent? I'm just wondering. I'm just asking because I've seen that a lot. Now this just goes over the parental responsibility and time sharing in Florida. Okay, let's go to January 7th now. Gosh, she's been going through this whole time. Now we're on January 7th, you guys, 2020. Now at this time, his attorney withdrew from the case. From this point until today, Marcus is pro se, which means that they are so he is advocating for himself as an active capacity of their own attorneys. So his attorney withdrew from the case on January 7th, and then on July 13th, 2020, Cassie's attorney also withdrew. So his attorney withdrew on January 7th, 2020, and then hers on July 13th, 2020. Her lawyer withdrew. It says this is probably due to the inactivity of the case. The order was entered on August 25th, 2020, granting this. Okay, so let's see. So a year goes by, and in July of 2021, so now a whole year goes by, the court files a notion of lack of prosecution, motion to dismiss, and notice of hearing. So upon not having any activity in the docket or movement from either party in more than 10 months. The court enters to close the pending case. And I just seen a comment. Does anyone know how Sailor is 4? Oh, I thought you were asking. So the last we heard as far as Sailor, she was in Tennessee with the family. That's the last we have heard. I know that Cassie's father is trying to get her back, and what we've been told is the family's gonna get her. They're just going through all of everything in order to get her back. She's all the way in Tennessee though right now with the family, and they say she is safe, she is okay. And that was stated by the update we got from law enforcement. And not only that, Cassie's sister also stated that she was safe and she was okay. So, and she was with a family. So thank you, Delana. Yes, Ambi. So Cassie and Sailor, they lived with Grandpa. Yes. Thank you guys for answering all the questions for me in chat. I do appreciate you guys that are answering them for me since I'm not able to look at them. Okay, let's continue. So remember, Cassie's court battle began when Sailor was only, 3 months? And since she was 3 months, she was dealing with all of this. Okay, so where did we leave off? Okay, so we know that on July of 2020, the court filed the notion of lack of prosecution, motion to dismiss, and notice of hearing, and that was basically because there was no activity on the docket or movement from either party in more than 10 months, so the court entered to close the pending case. Now, let's see, it goes on to say that during that year, where there was no movement in the court, So during that year and a half, Marcus was just being a good guy, doing the right thing. It says, "Are you kidding? Haha, no." Oh. So they're being sarcastic who wrote this. They're saying he was terrorizing Cassie. Some of his threatening messages are going to be cited below. This comes from the docket later on in the case where he himself attaches them to the pleadings. This is where the timeline becomes a little disorganized, like his mind. All right, so let's look at these text messages that he himself submitted. Okay, let me read this first. So these are going to start, so the text messages start on October 25th, 2019. There was a discussion back and forth where Cassie attempts to make arrangements with him to switch weekends and to work together. In this exchange, you are going to see that Marcus making ridiculous demands before stating on November 5th, 2019. So let's see. Let's go and check these out. Ambi, did they give any confirmation that did the sister come out today and say she had Sailor? I just seen your comment. If anyone can check that, I mean, I'm sure she's going to show a photo and they're going to be so happy. Hey, Evo Exist, good to see you here. It says that I am following this heartbreaking case. Hope Cassie gets justice. Amen. And thank you for being here, love. Thank you. You guys can share Evo's Exist channel. Does great work with coverage. Can you, Evo Exist, what's your second channel? I'm actually obsessed with the second channel because you cover different cases. I really like that one. It's evil something, right? See, everybody loves you. No, they were still working on Maria. Okay. Okay, yeah. So they're still working on it. Okay, yeah. I hadn't seen anything. Evil Exposed, yes. Can you share that link? One of my mods, Evil Exposed, both channels. Great work for both channels. I'm just a true crime junkie, so I personally like listening to different cases. Okay, let's check out these text messages. So it says on the top 10/25/2019 at 12:57 p.m. Marcus iPhone. So it says, now I'm gonna have to hold on. Let me scoot up because I cannot see this. It says, listen, I don't have time to going back and forth on this. Enough with what attorney said. It doesn't matter what he said. I can take care of her next week. Marcus, I have offered you so many extra days in exchange for this next weekend, and I'm trying so hard to work together and co-parent Sailor. At this point, I'm not going to give you any more extra time since you clearly do not care and do not want to work together with me. Since you just replied that you could take the time off, I will be making sure I change our agreement that when she is sick, you are required to take off work equal to me. I'm done talking about this. Have a good day. At 1:04 p.m., Marcus responds, I'd be just fine if you would make the days I have her equal to yours. So I am keeping Sailor next week or not. I wish they didn't put it in gray because it's kind of hard to see it. Her response is, you work out of town. I'm done talking about this. Marcus responds, where I work is my own problem. I need an answer if I'm keeping her next week or not. Cassie responds, I exchanged the weekend of September 20th for the weekend of November 2nd. You should contact your attorney. I don't understand why we can't work together, Cassie tells him. Marcus responds, we didn't exchange. I'm not going to be having an argument about this. You made up your mind, and again, I have no saying on the subject. Oh, making himself seem like the victim right there. Cassie says, you had a say, so on September when your attorney asked you about it. I'm not trying to go against you. I've been begging you. We have to be a team or the rest of our lives will suck. What do you want from me? That makes me so pissed to see her saying that. And then he says to quit arguing. Cassie, can we please work together? I will give you the following weekend too. This just means so much to me. She then responds, I hope you will find in your heart to know how much this means to me. Let me know if you would like to see Sailor this weekend. So it seems like she's, trying to work with him, and he's just not budging. This is the same day, but this is at 5:39 p.m. This weekend is not my weekend. Next weekend is my weekend. Cassie, I'm offering to share this weekend with you. Sailor, my father, and I are going to NC for my nephew's baby shower next weekend. I have told you this for weeks, and I have begged and pleaded for you to work with me. I respect your request about my mother. However, you cannot keep Sailor from her other family members. I am still extending the offer for you to see her this weekend. I have shared with you the dates and times. I have asked for you to work with me, and I just do not know why you will not. Please let me know if you would like to see her this weekend. Thanks, Marcus. She responds with, I also offered you to join if you are concerned about her safety. Come with us. Wow, she's even inviting him to go? Oh, wow. Wow. That takes a lot. That must have took a lot for her. She even invited him to go. He responds to her, listen, I'm getting tired of telling you that I don't want to argue about that. There is a judge order, I think it says, in place that tells us what to do. Cassie says, I'm following the order. There is nothing wrong with me offering more time and willing to work with each other. Marcus, I'm done talking about this. You made your point and I've made mine, and we are not in agreement. If you text me about this again, I'll ignore. And then this is the same day. She says, on another note, if you are in town, would you like to have a night or time with Sailor? So she is still trying to offer more time with him, with his daughter. Even though he's acting this way, she is still trying to say, hey, if you're in town, do you still want to see her? And then she says, this weekend. He says, now, wasn't planning on being in town since it's not my weekend with Sailor, so I won't be in town. This is still the same day, so this is still the 25th, and we're now at 7:32 p.m. This is Cassie. She says, okay, it's funny because I offered other weekends that were not your weekends, and you were back in Florida as soon as possible for that time. But okay, Marcus, please remember, if anything, it's not about you and it's not about me. It's about my family. It's not about my family nor your family. The bottom line is Sailor. What is best for her? I will respect you when it's reasonable. I pray you will do the same in the future for our daughter. She wants us happy. When we are happy, she is happy. She doesn't need any stress or anxiety. We will have to work together. I am willing to 100%. Have a good night. Let's see. So it looks like she sends him an audio, and now we're on the 27th, so we're now 10:27 for the day, and this is 7:33 p.m. And she says, I wanted to share. She loves her dog, and the old man loves her too. So she sends a video. She sends, I believe this is a photo, and it says, have you given her calamari? She likes it. I hate calamari. Don't come for me. Does anybody like calamari? I don't like it. She sends another photo to him. And this would be on the 31st now. And it looks like, I'm not sure. I know that looks like somebody holding Sailor, I think. And then another photo. This looks like Sailor right here. And she says, here's a few photos. We are having a great time. We went to the aquarium today. We went to a truck or treat at the church across from my sister. And I'm taking her truck or treating tonight. She is happy and everything is good. Would you like to have her Sunday and Sunday night and take her daycare? Question mark. Just wanted to offer you. She sends some more photos. So it just looks like the family having fun with Sailor. And then on the 31st, he responds and says, it was supposed to be my weekend, not really in the mood to chit chat. Oh my God. She says, we will have to work together, Marcus, and I'm just keeping you updated. I don't expect a response. I just want to share with you that she is having a great time. He says, don't want an update. Don't want you to share. Stop bothering me. God, he's like a freaking child. How old is Marcus? 34? She says, I'm sorry to bother you. I was just letting know she was safe and happy. If you want to see her Sunday, please let me know. And again, she keeps offering him time to see his child. And all right, we're on November 2nd now, 2019. This is going to be at 8:03 a.m. This is Cassie, and she says, hi, Marcus. I just wanted to ask again if you would like to see Sailor tomorrow. We will be back around 9 a.m. You can have her and take her to daycare Monday if you would like. Please just let me know, and thank you. He didn't respond because now we're on November 4th. She says, oh, wait, hold on. Is that the same one? Hold on. Oh, no, it's different. Okay, so he didn't respond, so now we're on the 4th, and she says, hey, Marcus, I'm not sure if you want to have Sailor this weekend. Please let me know if you would like to. Also, I was put to part-time as of today for a few weeks until I find another job. My office is closing. That being said, I can only hope that you will make your payments on time for Sailor's needs. I appreciate it. He responds, this weekend is your weekend. Cassie says, I mentioned before I would give you my weekend when we get back. If you don't want it, that is perfectly fine. Daycare is closed on Monday the 11th. Can you watch her? So remember, because she took Sailor that other weekend, which was supposed to be his, remember, to go to visit with family. So she offered him, since I'm going to have her on your weekend, I will give you her on my weekend, which that's how it should be, right? But he's not having it. Marcus responds, I didn't agree to an exchange. As far as the 11th, if you can't watch her, I can, but I wouldn't be able to return her to you before the following weekend. She says she can't miss daycare for a week. Marcus, why can't she? She just did it last week with you. She responds, I'm not sure why you would have, hold on, let me scroll down. She responds, Cassie, I'm not sure why you would have to keep her for a whole week. She's allowed 3 days a month without a doctor's note. Also, I'm not sure who you are going to let watch her while you are at work during the week. He responds, well, you asked if I could keep her. I've answered to you what I can do. God, Marcus is such, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say this. He's such a douchebag. My God, he's a douchebag. I'm reading this getting so pissed. What a freaking douchebag. Sorry, I couldn't hold it in anymore, you guys. I couldn't. Okay, let's continue. Cassie, so we're on November 5th, 2019 still. She says, I'm going to need help on days daycare is closed or when she is sick. It is not fair for me to put my jobs in jeopardy because you work out of town and can't help. Who would be watching Sailor the whole week that you would take her? Then she says, so she sent that at 2:18. She sent this one at 2:21. She sends this at 2:21. Never mind, it doesn't matter because she can't miss more than 3 days without a doctor's note. So now it's all on me again. I'll make sure she's taken care of on the 11th. Do what you want her Friday or Saturday for one night. So she's asking, do you want her for Friday or Saturday for one night this weekend? She's asking. He responds with, I'm not taking any time in it. Oh my God. He says, I'm not taking any time in exchange for anything. If you can't handle her, you make it clear that that is the reason why you want me to take care of her. So what is he doing? He wants her to put it in text, in a document, that she cannot take care of her daughter because he wants to use that against her. Okay, so those were the text messages. And hey, Natasha, good to see you in chat. Our deepest condolences. How are you doing, love, today? Hey, Infamous, how are you? Hi, Matt. How are you doing today? Amanda B. I've been right there and so many times. Amanda B, I swear, I'm like deja vu and I'm getting so heated right now. Oh. Hey, Kate. She says she clearly still hopes for co-parenting. Yes, yes. I think we all can see that through these text messages that Cassie really just wanted to co-parent. She made it. She was extremely, I'm going to say, extremely nice with Marcus. I don't think I could have been that nice. I know I wasn't that nice. I'll be honest with you. I was the parent that just wanted to co-parent. I didn't want to argue. I just wanted to live my life. I was happy for once. And the other parent was miserable that I was happy and wanted to make my life miserable. And at times I would mouth off. I'm going to be honest, I would mouth off. But she was clear. She was really nice and still trying to co-parent with him. And he just was being a dirt bag. Like, what the ugh. Yes, thank you. I should have said that in the very beginning. Trigger warning for all. And Natasha says, that's not Cassie. She was a very nice person always. Yeah, you can see that in the text messages. I can't believe how nice she was to Marcus. I know for myself, I would not have been like that. I wasn't like that always. I tried my best, but. All right, let me see. Hey, Dukes. Dukes is in the house, everyone. Ken says, sadly, a lot of times it doesn't work. Marcy says, being quiet as this is hurting so bad. Oh, Marcy, no. Is it bringing back memories? Well, I hope you're at a better place now. I know for me, like I said in the beginning, it was like deja vu for me, and it upset me, and it really did. But thank God we got past it, and I'm going to say he's an amazing parent now. Can't say nothing bad about him now. That's just for me with my situation. So we were young and stuff. So I hope you're in a better place, Marcy, now. Trio says she was way nice. She was way nicer than I was. Yeah, I agree. Okay, let me continue reading, guys. So again, I'm not going to look at the chat. Okay, so we went through the text messages. Okay, so we looked at those, so we don't need to see that. Okay, so now the person writing this again says that I want to stop here and explain something. This anger seems to be placed because Cassie gave him advance notice that she would be keeping Sailor at home during quarantine due COVID-19, okay? Now, during this time, many of us parents were scrambling to understand what to do with our time sharing exchange. And I can contest, I also was one of those parents, yes. Not to mention that the rate of DV in homes went up greatly. Now, during this conversation, she offered to give Marcus makeup timeshare once there was more information on her daughter's safety. He responded with a text that included, "I guess I'll be coming in town just to file a motion for civil contempt against you." Not the greatest, oh, that just goes on. This whole text stream gets worse when on March 30th of 2020, he sends her a message starting with, "I think you are literally," yeah, that word. Oh, let me take that off the screen so you guys can see. It goes on to say that holding court over someone's head like a threat is legal abuse. I never knew that. It is a way to use the court system to threaten and intimidate the other parent. Many abusers threaten to file a motion for every offense, oh my God, yes, that they feel is a blow to their control. When they do file these motions, they are also usually templated with a request for the healthy parent to be punished. Many times they ask for jail time. I have even seen a request for stockades to be used in a different case. They seem to control and abuse the other parent even when not in reach. And this just goes over about the legal abuse that this person has witnessed. Okay, so let's get back to Marcus and Cassie. So now at this time that the court files to close their case essentially, now Marcus is in another docket causing some trouble. Marcus files to contest the actions of his license being suspended for non-payment of child support on June 25th, 2021. A week later, he finds out that the court wants to close his paternity case. Marcus is losing, and there will be some finality on his legal abuse. Not if he has something to say about it, which of course is a lot. So, Cassie's emergency pickup order on July 13th, that he held Sailor and did not disclose her information to Cassie and had no contact with Cassie, and that Marcus was supposed to return Sailor on July 11th. So this is when we heard about Marcus keeping her for about, 2 weeks? So this is on July 12th, 2021. Marcus filed 6 motions. These are going to be the different motions he filed. Okay, so motion to dismiss. So Marcus asked the court to dismiss their own hearing because he states he wasn't given enough notice. He never wants this case to close. He needs to continue utilizing the courts to terrorize Cassie. Now, he asked the court for a psych evaluation on Cassie. No evidence attached to these allegations. So he's asking the court to do a psych evaluation on her, but again, he doesn't provide any evidence to sustain those claims, just like we heard earlier with the drugs and all that stuff. He throws all these accusations, blah, 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 against Cassie, but yet he can't show any proof. Let's see, right here it says he asked for full custody. It says he makes allegations that DCF picked up Sailor from Cassie and gave her to him. Oh my God. He asked that Cassie, so he did a motion to cease and desist. He asked that Cassie not say his name ever again. I mean, seriously, I thought I heard it all, but this one bites the case. Are you freaking kidding me? He put a motion for cease and desist and said Cassie to never say his name again. Oh my God, you guys. So right here, he asked the case to be moved to Santa Rosa County, and then motion to request daycare attendance. So right here, this just says that respondent initially keep minor child from daycare. So daycare won't notice and report the bruises on minor child. So he's claiming that Cassie kept her from daycare so they wouldn't see her bruises. So he's requesting the daycare attendance. Oh my gosh. Now, I like this. So it says, motions like these that right now I'm thinking are so ridiculous, right? Motions like these are signs of someone becoming unhinged, that their need for power and control is becoming so blatant. His mask is completely off and he has filed these. Oh, look, so on July 15th, 2021. Now, Cassie, she retains her attorney again, so she gets back her attorney. On July 21st, 2021, subpoenas the DCF employees went out from Cassie's attorney. On July 22nd, 2021, let's see, Marcus takes Sailor out of Florida to see a therapist to try and find some way to twist her recommendations to use in his filings. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, he did not let Cassie know he was taking her. So you can see, have you guys noticed as we started from the very beginning, it does seem like he is becoming unhinged and erratic behaviors I'm feeling like we're seeing now. From when we first started going through it and now what we're seeing. Now, on July 29th of 2021, Marcus filed 7 motions for civil contempt. At this point, he can be inferred that he was probably feeling high off this plan of his. Many abusers state that they want to expose and humiliate the other parent. In these subsequent filings is where we see the abusive and hostile messages he sent Cassie. Let me see. I just want to see what these show real quick. Hold on. Okay, did we read these ones? Okay, so these are new text messages. Okay. So this one, so these are going to be on, what is that? March 6th, 2020. Sorry, I should have muted that. Just had to take a drink of water. So Marcus says, can I pick her up at daycare? Cassie responds, okay, it's pajama day, so she's in PJs, but she has a plastic bag with a sweater and stuff if you want to grab it. Can you please let me know when you get her? Thank you, and I hope you all have a good weekend. She then texts him at 5:47. So that was at 11:44, those two messages. So now we're at 5:47 p.m. So he never responds to that. She says, hey, did you pick up Sailor? He says, yes. She says, I just realized a message I sent earlier, never sent, so I'm resending it. Sailor and I are out of town. She will be wherever you want her by 6 p.m. on the 20th. Just wanted to let you know. Sorry the message earlier didn't send. Oh gosh. So this is, wait, what was that? So that was the 10th. It doesn't show any response to that. This is the 14th now. It says, do you get off by pissing me off? How many times am I going to tell you there is, and then it's all in capitals now, there is a court order in place that tells you where and what time we need to meet to exchange Sailor. How many times I gotta tell you to leave me alone and stop the harassment? I don't need your advice. I don't need your opinion nor your feedback. All you do is lie, and I don't have time to waste with you. Are you delusional or something? Hold on, I got you something with your mother and lie on a sworn affidavit just to keep using drugs and drinking. And on top of that, kept my daughter from me for over a year. How in the hell would I want to have anything to do with you? The only thing I want with you is to put you in jail for the crimes you have committed. So until then, in all caps, he says, leave me the fuck alone. Now remember, the year he's talking about, remember it's COVID. It was when she was, when COVID was all going on. She says, I wanted to be respectful and give you more than 30 minutes notice before I know you travel pretty far. I met with my attorney and I am keeping Sailor quarantined in my house with me. It is not safe in public. I have everything she will need for the next few weeks without leaving the house. My number one priority is to make sure our daughter is safe and does not get sick. Daycare has been closed. Thankfully, I will be able to be home with her until all this passes. I will exchange the time I have that is yours to make sure you do get your time. This is a scary time. Stay safe. And I think a lot of us can totally understand when COVID all happened. We didn't know what was going on, right? So obviously she's trying to keep her young child safe and from getting sick. And like she says, she has everything right there for the next few weeks. And she's willing to exchange the time afterwards, to make up for the time that he has lost. She's willing to give him that time back. She's just trying to, like she says, this is a scary time and to keep her daughter safe. Let's see. He responds with, it's dangerous for her to come to my house, but not too dangerous for you to go out of town with her. Sure. You don't have the right to do that. I guess I'll be coming into town to file a motion for civil contempt against you. She responds with, damn right you don't have supplies for her to quarantine her for 2 weeks. If you really gave a shit about Sailor, you would totally understand and agree, but you're fucking an asshole. Yes, Cassie, yes, say it. Let me read this again. She says, damn right you don't have supplies for her to quarantine for 2 weeks. If you really gave a shit about Sailor, you would totally understand and agree, but you're a fucking asshole. And I think, yeah, we all agree. File whatever you fucking want. I'm keeping Sailor safe with me. This isn't something I want to, and then I think it just cuts off. To do, but this is real shit. I'm not letting Sailor out of the house. I will give you the time back like I said. This is Cassie again. Oh, by the way, the courts have stated that all parents must be flexible during these times. Yes, they did. I know they did. Meaning the child is the most important. Yep. The judge will laugh at anything you file. Also, and plus, a lot of the courts were also closed, remember? Well, from going inside. Also, all filings are being postponed. Yep, I agree. So you pretty much will be wasting your time and back child support on nothing. But go on, do what you do. We will be in contact when it is safe for Sailor to be out of the house. If you want to FaceTime her anytime, you're more than welcome. Just let me know. Thanks. And everything she's saying is 100% correct. And what I mean correct is about that the courts right now, they want parents to be flexible and that the child is the most important thing. Also that filings were being postponed, all of that. Now, she says, my attorney has logged all the times you have been contempt and is ready to file whenever I say to. I do not want to fight with you, Marcus. I just want Sailor safe and healthy. So Marcus sends it looks like a video, and it looks like a fan. He says, the judge will laugh at whatever I file? ? I think it's more likely he's going to laugh at your definition of keeping her safe. Now stop nagging me and leave me alone. And I don't know what that video was. Cassie says, you already sent this to my attorney. It's not a threat to me. Showing videos of my mother, whom I have not spoken to since July of last year, is really going to prove I'm a bad mom? Okay, ha ha ha, that's some funny shit. Grow up. If you really care to see your daughter, you are more than welcome, and she can talk to you in her bedroom with the door closed. Just let me know. Thanks. So pretty much she's just saying that she, let her have her privacy. She won't be in the room or anything like that. He says, is there anything wrong with Sailor? That was on the 27th. So he sent that at 9 a.m. Her response was, no, she was FaceTiming you. No biggie. She is happy and healthy. Now we're on March 30th of 2020. This is Cassie, and she says, hold on. She says, hey, with the president saying quarantine until April 30th, I would really like to talk about what we should do. I do not want to keep her from you. You do travel a lot. I do not believe you live in your home in PCB, so I do not trust her living out of a makeshift trailer during all of the sickness. I just want us to communicate. I have tried to let her FaceTime you. I have never dealt with a pandemic before, and I just know she is healthy as can be right now, and I do not want to jeopardize that. Can you please let me know what you think about all of it? Again, I do not want to keep her from you. I just want her, and I just don't want her anywhere in public. We are on day 11 of her not emerging in public at all. Thank you. And gosh, how was it hard for you guys to not go anywhere and stay in the home? That was super hard, wasn't it? As a parent, you had to literally think outside the box to keep them busy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he responds with, I think you are literally the R word. You want to talk about what's best for Sailor, but you left her with your mother. You took her to your sister. Sailor had almost 101 in fever, and you still couldn't stop drinking. Sailor had an ear infection, and you were taking her out on a boat. And 3 weeks ago, you took her out of town. So again, stop nagging me and just follow the court order. Regardless, and quarantine, I still should have my time with my daughter. We addressed all these, and this is Cassie, we addressed all these issues in court, Marcus. I do not speak to my mother, nor will I. Sailor is very well taken care of. I take her to all doctor appointments, and I make sure she has everything she needs. You make me laugh. Pay child support and stop being a weirdo. It was also addressed in court. She didn't live in your construction trailer. If you want to fight, I will make it that DCF has to see your trailer and home before she's allowed with you again. I am done being nice to you. You are rude to me. It's about Sailor. I have an appointment with my attorney to talk about the pig something. Hold on, pig trash, pig something. So she's talked to her lawyer about some pig thing I saw in your trailer used for whatever. Maybe you guys will know what she's trying to say right there. I don't deal with pigs, so pig, is it TROTH? I can't see. Let's see. I'm done playing games and being childish with you. Times are very stressful, and I'm doing my very best to make sure our daughter is healthy and happy. I have tried to let her talk to you, but you do not want to. My attorney will be in contact. Thanks. And then she sends this photo, and it looks like it's Sailor. She looks like she's eating and possibly watching something, I think. She says, you guys must watch monkey movies because she knows monkeys so good. Wish you would FaceTime with her, Marcus. She's asleep now, but gosh, she would love to see you. If we can arrange a place that a place that isn't closed. I do not mind you seeing her, hoping you have no symptoms or signs. I'm paranoid and have worked very, very hard for her not to get sick. Just trying to communicate. Let me see what you guys say. Oh, maybe that's, yeah, probably that's what it probably says. I think. And she's sending him more photos. Aww, a sailor eating and reading a book. Oh, looks like that's the monkey book. He says, would you he says, would you watch this video and then answer me if you're going to let me have Sailor this weekend? And he sends a video. So he sends a YouTube video, it looks like, and then I'm not sure if that's a photo, but she says, good morning. Thank you for the video. It is really sad, but it's truth. Marcus, I have worked with you and I have done everything I can to give you extra time when you wanted it or whatever. I do not want to keep Sailor from you. It does hurt me because I know she loves her dad. I am listening to our president, and when he says it is safe for her to travel, I will let you have every single day back. Shit, you may get 2 full weeks with her. I do not want to fight with you. I never do. I am doing what is best for Sailor. If there wasn't a pandemic, and if I truly knew you lived in PCB and not in your trailer, then maybe things would be different. But you do not live at that house. Remember, I know a lot of people. You live in your trailer and hotel rooms. Prove me wrong. I cannot wait to go back to court. You have been in contempt so many times with lying about your income, not communicating with me, with pickups and records of texts show all. I want Sailor to see you and visit you, but I also want her healthy, and it's bullshit that you're making me feel like shit about it. I'll take a video of our house, all of our diapers and foods and wipes. You have nothing like I have because you travel for work. I'm over being nice to you. You are mean and rude to me, and it's just not cool. I make sure our daughter is good, happy, and healthy. I apologize it's not on your terms. It will never be. Try me. You will always lose. I will let you know when the president or the state governor says it's okay for us to stay home. It is okay for us not to stay home. Stay safe and healthy. So that was the 3rd at 10:22 a.m. And then he says, can we FaceTime? And then, hold on, not ready. So she says, okay. And I guess they must have FaceTimed after that. Okay. I know. Me too. Hi, Insanely. Kate says, sadly, she's trying to allow him to become a man, and he's only forming deeper hate because she stands up for their child. Yeah. Insanely says, the court systems here are broken as well. Oh, Ken said he grew up on a farm. There's a lot of farms where we live right now. There's a lot of farms out here in Arizona. We see all the horses and everything. Okay, where did we leave off? Okay, so we just went over all of the text messages. Okay, so I think we're right here. So let's see. So on August, let me take that off the page, sorry. Okay, so now we're on August 4th, 2021. Wait, did we read this one? Hold on. So we read the text messages. So not to let up steam, Marcus filed on August 3rd, 2021, a motion for mental and eye care. alleging that Cassie is neglecting and physically abusing the child. Oh my gosh. Let me pull this down more. Okay, so not to let up steam, Marcus filed on August 3rd, 2021, a motion for mental and eye care, alleging that Cassie is neglecting and physically abusing the child. Now, attached is the therapist's report that he took the child to out of state and did not notify the mother on July 22nd. Now, text messages from 8/2 of her trying to work with him on medical care. Marcus has a history of preventing his action to coincide with the legal battle or other forms of abuse on Cassie. On August 4th, 2021, Cassie's attorney filed a 31-page motion of contempt against Marcus. Now, he refused to give the child back to the mother on the exchange day. He took the child to a mental health professional without notifying Cassie and does not allow the child to communicate with her on his time sharing. It says that he had kept Sailor for 2 weeks without Cassie knowing where she was. And then it says that this is beyond traumatizing for both the mother and child. I feel sick just thinking about it. So let's see. On August 19th, 2021, the court issued a notice of hearing and set it for October 1st, 2021. On August 20th, 2021, the court submitted the court denying change of venue, citing that the mother and child live close. Okay, so that got denied. Let's see. So Marcus is nothing if not persistent in his pursuit to avoid child support. Now, on September 3rd, 2021, he filed a motion to reinstate his passport in the child support docket. So below right here just says some of the quotes from the motions. Let's see. So I guess he was trying to plan a trip back to Brazil. And again, the person writing this, said that this is her opinion, but it says, well, Marcus, I'm sure the dentist can wait. So I guess he was trying to say he was trying to go back there for a dentist, to see a dentist. And it says, well, I'm sure the dentist can't wait. Trips to Brazil can be very costly and tickets expense can go for hundreds and thousands of dollars. So he can afford trips to Brazil, but not pay for child support. Now, that same day, Marcus filed a motion to dismiss all his child support payments. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, so around those months, this is when Cassie created the GoFundMe. And remember, we went over that GoFundMe. Okay, so this is just a little part of the GoFundMe that Cassie, this is like what she had wrote on there. It says, like so many relationships, I know I was swept up in hidden deceit known as charm. This man was a master at the game of manipulation, and though I could see all the warning signs of an abuser, I believed his excuses and became stuck in his web of narcissistic lies. Just months into the relationship, I discovered that I was pregnant. Now it says many people ask how you get stuck with an abuser. It's not a choice. This person uses lies, manipulations, and coercive control to keep you in a prison of a relationship. You become bond to this person through trauma and even pity sometimes. They analyze you and use every weak point to their advantage. Let's see. Now, on October 7th, 2021, a hearing was scheduled to hear all of Marcus' motions and Cassie's motions for contempt. On October 7th, 2021, the court filed an order to deny psychological evaluation. They stated the father failed to provide contempt. So remember how he wanted Cassie to be evaluated? So on October 7th, that was denied because Marcus once again didn't provide anything to support those allegations. So that was denied. On October 25th, 2021, the court entered an order on the hearing. All of Marcus' motions were denied. So on October 25th, all of those motions that we heard earlier were denied. Now it says Cassie's contempt was partially granted. Okay, so this order now put in the motion into effect that Walmart and Destin would be the official exchange spot. Marcus was ordered to pay attorney fees. On January 14th, 2022, Cassie's attorney filed an affidavit for attorney fees and costs. Marcus' control is slipping. On March 7th, 2022, the court held a hearing on attorney fees. Now on March 18th, this is very interesting right here. On March 18th, 2022, the court entered an order on Marcus paying $5,920 in attorney fees within 30 days' time. Marcus, for the first time since this case has started, has set a date that held him accountable for his actions. On March 27th, 2022, Cassie went missing. So again, on March 18th, the court ordered for him to pay the attorney fees, and he had 30 days to do it. Again, on March 27th, Cassie went missing. Today is April 3rd, 2022. As I am finishing this article, it was announced that Cassie's body was found in a shallow grave in Alabama, home connected to Marcus at 3 p.m. We owe it to Cassie to come forward and educate the courts on the warning signs and these dangerous people. We owe it to her to bring Marcus and other abusers like him to justice, to hold them accountable for the first time. And that ends that. Sorry. And I think with that, I'm going to wrap it up. It's just really sad to see all of this when I read this, and this is why I want to share this with you guys, because you can see what Cassie went through all of this time with Marcus, this whole time, and to see the final outcome as of being on March 18th, and then March 27th, she goes missing. It's just heartbreaking. So I want to thank you guys all for being here with me today. I know usually we go into a discussion, but I think I'm going to end it. That was a lot to go over with you guys. Yeah. So many hundreds of thousands of Cassies out there now. There is. And some of us were Cassie back in the days. I know. Heather Ann, me too. Me too. And for everybody that's gone through this, even, every mother that's gone through this, that has gone through a custody battle, and you were trying to do the right thing, and then you have the father, or even the father, maybe you were the one who was trying, because it isn't always just the mother. It could have been the father was trying to be, co-parent, and then the mother was raising havoc. It's always, for whatever parent has gone through this. Oh yes, Matt, I agree. Oh, you're welcome, Ken. It was good to see you in chat today. Natasha, did you send me an email? Email just to me? Let me see. Are you talking to Delana? I'm not sure. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, you did. Hold on, Natasha. I'm going to be sharing on my community page the GoFundMe right here. So I'll share that link, and then also the Facebook page if you guys have a Facebook. I know it's interesting that a lot of my followers don't have a Facebook. But I'll also share that on my community. And yes, if you can donate, great. Please do. If you can't, understandable. But I'll also share that. Can we see what it says? Let me see. And you know, it's so sad. It's again, Cassie has lost her life, and a little 4-year-old is going to live with this. So if you want to go ahead and go to the GoFundMe and check it out, I will share the link on my community page, you guys, so you guys can check it out and donate. Celebrate Cassie. I love that. Sammy says, can someone tell me the motive? I personally think that, and this is just my opinion, I think he was losing control of everything. I think he resented Cassie for it. And I think him having to pay, I think was his motivation. That's just me though. Shay says, oops, wrong one. My ex-husband breached a court's orders and took her eldest child at age 14. I'm hoping you got your child back, Shay? Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why we got upset yesterday when we watched him do the first court appearance. You know how he said he wanted to make sure that he brings up his daughter. And that just totally pissed all of us off because we're like, oh, now you're concerned about your daughter, right? So it really got us upset over that. Shay, are you serious? Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Hi, Sky. She says, Sammy, we think needing to pay child support. And yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. No, thank you guys so much for being here. And I think I have another live schedule later for Summer Wells, but I might move it till tomorrow because this one went till 12 p.m. right now. But I just felt like this was really important to share with you guys because it really does paint the battles that Cassie went through with Marcus this whole time. We've been wondering about it. I know I personally was wondering what was going on. I want to know more about the court and everything. So I thought you guys would be interested in it. So that's why I want you to go live with this today. So I want to thank you guys. Valerie, did I say hi to you, Valerie? I don't know if I did or not. Let me look at chat from my end. So let me stop sharing that. And I never like to leave you guys on a bad note or a sad note. You know, Cassie's case is going to hold a special place in my heart. I connected to this case from the moment I read about it and I found out that she left her purse in her car. I immediately messaged, I think it was Sky and Amanda, and I was like, we're going to follow this one to the very end. There was just something about Cassie's case that I just connected to 100%. And even though she's been found, and I can't wait till they get Sailor back, I will keep you guys all updated with that. Also with her autopsy results. I will keep you guys all updated with that. But I think for now, that's everything we have to go over. Trying to think. And I adore all of you guys that come here and chat with me. Thank you so much. I love you all. No, thank you. So let me say bye to some of you. Katie, Matt, Insanely, Sky, Valerie, Delana. Who else do we have in here? Shay, thank you guys also for sharing your stories in chat. I wasn't able to look at chat for the most of the part that I was reading all of this, but usually when I'm, later on, I go back and I revisit it. So I will go back and look at all your guys' comments. So if you shared anything personal that you went through in your own lives, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. Just want to say that in advance. And Ken, it was good to see you in here. Trail Girl, it was good to have you. Sorry, my boyfriend. Are you done yet? I'm like, my mods know this about me. I always say, it's going to be a quick live. 3 hours later. Natasha, always good to have you in chat. Again, my deepest condolences to you guys. And, it seems like the family wants us to celebrate Cassie's life. She seemed like an amazing person just based off of those text messages. Very calm, respectful. I couldn't have been like that. Yes, hope all of you have a rest of your day, a good rest of your day, or rest your day. I'm teasing, Sky. All right. I know. I usually don't. I usually just get off of it, but I kind of don't want to leave you guys like, I don't like to be like that. So let me play something. Let's see. How about